I'm Chef Mark Tarbell. Welcome to Check Please Arizona. This is Chelsea's Kitchen.
Chelsea's Kitchen is an Arizonan roadhouse. We want to celebrate Arizona. We use local produce, we use local wood, we use local materials to build the building. We have local plants and vegetation in our parking lot and around the building. The food that we serve here at Chelsea's is Southwestern. We serve a few different varieties of taco, the most popular being the short rib. Another one of our more popular items is the vegetable enchilada, piled high with spaghetti squash and chayote squash. That comes with our house-made tortillas, our house-made salsa verde. We can serve that with any of our proteins in-house, and we serve that extra cheesy, delicious. So the Smokeyard it's right out front. It features our rotisserie and our smoker, and that is, I mean, it really is the heart and soul of this restaurant. Our beef comes to us from Gold Canyon. It's here in Arizona. It's certified Angus beef, and it is specially selected exclusively for us and the LGO family. Chelsea's, at first glance, it almost looks like a ranch house. And when you walk in, it's got this welcoming feel to it. It's accompanied by this fantastic patio behind me. It's got a real homey feel to it, that you're in somebody's backyard. And then, we're right here by the water, which is beautiful. And it just gives this really, really nice ambiance. We try to go out of our way as much as we can to provide that personal touch and make people feel like they're welcome here, like they're part of the neighborhood, and they can always come into Chelsea's.
So Nancy, what do you love about Chelsea's?
I love the atmosphere, I love the food, I really love the back patio, pretty much everything about the place.
What did you eat?
We started with the deviled eggs, one of their house specialties, and you can get 3 or 6. We just started with 3 because they're really rich and delicious. A little bit of tang to them, the whipped yolk, which is really creamy and delicious, and then they put a little bit of pickle in there.
I love that because it gives a little crunch. It also gives a little vinegary pop. You can get bacon on it. I think you had the bacon, right?
Yeah, I added bacon, and with the sweetness and the vinegar of the deviled eggs, the bacon was like ultra crispy, so it just added a really great texture to them and really complemented the flavors of them really well.
I had it too, and my wife, we really enjoyed it. And that relish taste to it really was just a little bit different than what we've had before. And then
What'd you have
top
next?
it off with bacon. It's awesome, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Then I did the filet mignon.
Okay.
And I was actually kind of sold by the person who waited on us. He talked about the high quality of meat and how they only accept like 10 or 20% of what they're offered, and it was just well done, medium rare, the way I like it. Came to the table sizzling and was so flavorful.
What'd you have for your entree, Nancy?
I had the pan-fried chicken, which is a boneless chicken fillet, breaded, perfectly fried, crispy, golden, but still juicy on the inside. Comes with Colcannon potatoes.
Tell me about those.
That's a mashed potato with kale and leeks and butter, and just gives it a really interesting flavor. And a piece of cornbread also comes with it. So it's fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. And the cornbread is sweet.
Let's just stop there.
I would agree.
And the pause.
Oh,
What
it's
is
like,
it?
again, it's like dessert.
Really?
But very flavorful. We can really taste the corn as a part of it, and we really ate that up pretty
Super
quickly.
moist.
So, Super moist,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So Casey, you had the fried chicken too. Tell us, what's it like?
Thin chicken breast fillets, and they're breaded and super crispy, almost like a schnitzel kind of is what it was reminding me of.
Yeah.
So it was just really good crispiness on the outside, moist chicken on the inside, just 2 big pieces of it, big, crispy pieces of it. So it was great. And then those potatoes, butter, really buttery, really good. And
I love that.
cornbread as well. That was crispy on the outside, almost like yellow cake on the inside, and really light, really just great flavor.
I think they griddle sear it, which is really a cool way to, because you do get that little crispiness on the outside, warms it up a little bit, kind of makes it, softens it too as it's heating.
Yeah, it was great.
It's really nice.
I appreciated the way that you could see them cooking on the grill when you walked in, which is really kind of a nice thing to see.
Yes.
Versus in the back.
Very exposed kitchen, yeah. Casey, did you have dessert?
Yes, we had dessert. I'm not typically a dessert person, but for the purposes of the show, I had to do my due diligence. And we got the chocolate cake. It was a chocolate icebox cake with pistachio gelato on the side. And it was so good. I don't even like pistachio ice cream, but I couldn't stop eating it. And I'm not a huge chocolate cake guy, but I also couldn't stop eating that. And it was gluten-free, but you would never know. And it was just
Well,
one of the
that's,
best chocolate
that's
cakes.
amazing. Gluten-free, and it was still really
Yeah.
moist and
You would
tender.
never know if they didn't tell you.
Nancy,
Yeah.
you're nodding. You had it too.
We did,
Yeah.
and that was a big enough piece of cake. We had plenty to share. We managed to finish it, and the combination of the chocolate cake with that pistachio ice cream was really,
Yeah, it went really well
really
together.
Well,
delicious.
did you have dessert?
Chocolate cake.
It
It was recommended, so I did it, and ditto to everything they said. But we quickly finished that. It was just very chocolatey, very flavorful.
All right, so what's your pro tip?
My pro tip is we went there on a Wednesday night, and it was extremely busy, which is a really good sign, especially for a Wednesday night. You kind of think maybe it'll be a little slower, but they were hopping. One of the things we appreciated is the fact they got us in quickly, got a seat, sat on the patio. The service was very efficient, very friendly, and very informative. They really described each of their dishes, which was something we really appreciated since it was the first time we'd been there. So
That's cool.
but it was a wonderful place, very relaxing.
So go early and often, doesn't matter what day.
That's right.
Nancy, this is your place. What's your pro tip?
They have valet parking, which I love, complimentary valet, so you don't have to worry about finding a place to park. So don't hesitate to go anytime. They'll find a spot for your car. And the cookie is also something I highly recommend, whether or not you order dessert. There's a tray by the front door, so if you get dessert, they don't bring you cookies. They do. If you don't order dessert, snag a cookie on your way out the door.
All right, parking and cookies. I love it. Casey, what's your pro tip?
Yeah, I mean, we've been hearing about this restaurant for years and have never gone, and I regret not going sooner. It was great. My pro tip would be sit on the patio if it's a nice night. Pretty much everywhere we ate for this show, we sat outside, so that was just 3 for 3 on that, but it was a really nice patio, beautiful, well lit, fire going, and it was just a great atmosphere.
It is. All right, patio at Chelsea's. If you want to try Chelsea's Kitchen, it's near 40th Street in Camelback. An average meal with appetizer, entree, and dessert will cost $60. They take reservations for parties of 10 or more.